Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So, guys, here we go about what I was saying regarding the keyword South Africa. So, there's a brother here. You are going to hear his video. Basically, somebody asked him a question about why everybody is talking about South Africa or something of that nature. I will show you the caption. In fact, no, you will see it. You'll see the question stuck on the video, and then he basically answers this question. But I'm also going to leave his TikTok handle, not exactly TikTok handle, but his TikTok picture, so that you can go and watch him on TikTok as well if you are interested. However, I extracted this video from TikTok so that you guys get to see what I was talking about when I kept saying, let the green, white, and green people keep talking about South Africa because they are helping us in terms of exposure. South Africa, right now, if you go to YouTube, even yourself as a South African citizen, just type South Africa, see the type of videos you are going to be shown. None of those videos are saying anything negative about South Africa. It is just tourism. It is about business opportunities. It's about visas to South Africa. It is all kinds of positive videos that you are going to see about South Africa. You know why? Because South Africa is in everybody's lips. Everybody's talking about South Africa. Whether you're talking about South Africa in a positive tone or you're talking about South Africa in a negative tone, the YouTube algorithm, the TikTok algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, and all the other algorithms that are out there, as long as you talk about South Africa, they are learning that every time the word South Africa is mentioned, you are going to be shown content coming from South Africa about South Africa. In most cases, it is going to be business. If it's not business, it's going to be tourism. If it's not tourism, it's going to be our history. If it's not about our history, it's about our sport, like rugby. If it's not about our sport, it is going to be about the people of South Africa and their diversity. So that is why I keep saying, let them keep saying South Africa, thinking that they are poking at us when in fact they are promoting us for free. Remember, that nation is over 200 million people. And even if it's like 50 million or 100 million people talk about South Africa, it is positive for South Africa. We don't talk about them, and that is why they are not a keyword. Nobody's searching green, white, and green on any platform, but they know they exist and they're known for certain things that I shall not mention. They are quite obvious all over around the world, and I've shown you guys videos of what they are popular for. As South Africans, we are not even travelers like that. Even if we do travel, we will go to a country 1 or 2, 3 days, we want to go back home. Literally want to go back home. I always feel sorry for those that move from South Africa to various countries in the world because of work, transferring them to work or getting a job opportunity elsewhere outside the South African borders. I always feel sorry for you guys, and I know you miss home like you've never did before. But the point is, when you keep mentioning South Africa, South Africa, South Africa, you are training these algorithms to do nothing but promote South Africa every time the word South Africa is mentioned. So here's another thing that is I'm seeing it's becoming a trend since 2 days ago. Donald Trump just won the American elections. And a lot of African Americans, Black Americans, guess what they are doing? They are researching South Africa. Some are even coming to South Africa to look for property. Some are even thinking of relocating to South Africa because of the future they believe they are facing under Donald Trump. So, thanks to you guys, Green, White, and Green, please, I beg, I beg, oh, continue talking about South Africa. It's saddening me to see that you guys are no longer putting South Africa in your titles, and you're not talking about South Africa no more. Why? What changed? What's happening, guys? Please continue talking about South Africa. You guys, yeah. But anyways, whether you do talk about South Africa or not, there are other people that are talking about South Africa. Thanks to you guys, by the way. Look at the caption on this brother's video in the beginning. Somebody is asking him a question and he is answering that question in terms of history of South Africa, people of South Africa, business opportunities in South Africa, including other things that he mentions about South Africa and why South Africa will continue to be in the mouths of everybody. It's not going to come to an end anytime soon because why? The green, white, and green have been talking so much about South Africa that now South Africa becomes a trending topic. Just say South Africa and then you relax. Just go on TikTok. Just say South Africa and then see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen. You are going to go viral simply for saying South Africa. Why? Because those algorithms have been trained by these people who think by throwing this word at us they're spitting hate. No, no, thanks for the love though. Thanks for it. You unknow, maybe I don't know if it's unknowingly or ignorance or simply didn't know. I think okay, let's put it this way. You just didn't know. You didn't know. You are participating in a technological device that you have no idea the power it holds when you mention a certain keyword. You created this keyword, and I don't think we will ever hear the end of it when it comes to South Africa coming out of other people's mouths. And I agree with this brother 100%. I saw another TikTok video of an African American talking about African American celebrities, whom, by the way, are also looking into South Africa, by the way, to relocate. Yes, to relocate. And this guy was pointing five things that African American actors will actually enjoy about South Africa. And he mentions them. And when I look at that, I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what this brother is also talking about. Like how African Americans and Black South Africans, we have a lot in common. A lot in common. Even if you're an African American, you come here, that's the first thing that you see. You'll be like, wait a minute, but this is our history, and yet it's also South Africa's history. And secondly, familiarity. Familiarity is there are things that are too familiar to African Americans when they are in South Africa, and they will enjoy that. Number one, our infrastructure. Number two, South Africa is the only African country on the continent that has the cleanest water. You can come from wherever you come from in the world and you can actually drink our tap water. I'm talking the water that comes out of our tap, and you are not going to fall ill. This brother mentions that. I'm not talking about this one of this video, but I'm talking about the one that is talking about the five things that African American actors will enjoy in South Africa. I mean, I've seen videos of African Americans that live in South Africa. They drink our water because it is the cleanest on the continent. Yes, there are some parts, of course, that are struggling with clean water, but I would say 98% of South African water is clean. You can drink it as a person who does not come from South Africa. Yes, it is advisable that you drink spring water or bottled water or whatever the case is. But if you drank South African tap water, you're still not going to fall ill. And then the other thing that they are talking about that they will have common things with South Africa, or maybe things that are going to enjoy in South Africa, is the technology. I mean, our technology has the same quality of that of the United States, if not better. Banks. Banking in South Africa is something that is the easiest to navigate for foreigners, for African Americans. And these are the things that he was just mentioning, that it is what will get them to South Africa at the end of the day if they will choose to come to South Africa. And guess what? South Africans, especially as Black South Africans, we are going to have our arms wide open for our brothers and sisters coming from the United States if they are searching for refuge, or they're seeking for sanctuary, or whatever it is they are seeking for. But we will be here making sure that they will get to enjoy their stay in South Africa. You know why? You know why? Because South Africans We are a welcoming nation. A nation that minds its own business, but when you come here, do it the legal way. That's all that we are asking for. Come here legally so that we know who you are. And secondly, we also want to know how are you going to contribute positively into the South African economy. You are not going to be mooching out of us, and on top of that, you are illegally here. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So here's the video of this brother. Just hear him out and get to understand how algorithms actually work.
Let me break this down for you. Since the beginning of colonialization, South Africa has been key in not only the liberation of our people, but the liberation struggle, similar to Black Americans, Afro-Caribbeans, Black UK, Afro-Brazilians. South Africa has been essential. I mean, in 1995, I believe the dollar to rand rate was in the single digits. When I walk downtown Washington, D.C., I walk around and I see South Africa everywhere. Y'all have one of the biggest statues in the embassy in America. South Africa is a part of the world affairs. Y'all are the only second world country in Africa. That's just not mishap. That is purpose. South Africa, as much as our people go through in South Africa, similar to America, similar to Afro-Brazilians, Caribbeans, they're still a part of the world affairs. I mean, American companies come to South Africa because of the business affairs of South Africa. I mean, I don't know how traveled some of you are globally, but I know in South Africa, people want to travel there. Now, it's not as bad as it may seem, but it does get bad because people see that there's business opportunities there that can be life-changing, not only for the people who create the business, but the people who run them, which are South Africans. Y'all are some of the most intelligent people that I've met. So just being able to experience the intellect, the activism, the oration of South African people is something I've never seen. I can understand why sis knows somebody in South Africa, because South Africans and Black Americans have a tying history. You know, since the inception of ANC, and even a little before that, South African scholars, lawyers, politicians have been in communication with Black Americans, those in the Afro-Caribbeans, and those who are Black UK. And we have helped each other during our liberation struggles. Prime example, South Africa was a part of UNIA-ACL, which was started in America. South Africa, out of the African countries, had the most divisions and chapters, had the most members, are even written in a lot of our literature. I mean, pages about South African revolutionaries, to start with Sol Plaatje, to go to Robert Sobukwe, to talk about Thabo Mbeki. There has never been a moment in Black Americans' liberation struggle that South Africa didn't intertwine in that. So I would say in the same aspect, it would be similar on the European side. I mean, you have, like I said, they glorify y'all here. I mean, Nelson Mandela is talked about in our history books. The African National Congress is talked about in our history books as well. So I think that's why, you know, people are talking about South Africa. I mean, look what y'all even do on social media. Social media in the Black community is dominated by typically 4 groups. Black Americans, Black UK, Black South Africans, and Nigerians. And when we post content, whether it's dance videos, political dialogue, any type of clips from our podcasts, any type of social justice issues, it goes viral. It is highlighted. So I just think y'all are always and will always be a talking point, at least in the aspect of the American, whether they're Black, white, or indifferent. South Africa is always going to be a talking point. I remember When I was in Wisconsin, I went to an event. My mom introduced me to this European woman. She starts raving about South Africa, like going on and on, like where she think we friends, all because she went to South Africa. It's like, no, we ain't friends, but I get you. Like anytime you go there, you get a feeling, it builds up in you. So I would just say, be proud. Be proud that y'all globally, out of the 194, 98, however you shake it, countries, South Africa will always be a talking point in the mouths of everyone. Peace.
And I was just talking about this week. Like, guys, let them talk, but don't participate in the comment section, because if you do, you are only paying them, because the word South Africa pays on YouTube. It's a very well paying keyword on YouTube. So if you keep going into the comment sections, they smile all the way to the bank at the end of the day. But other than that, guys, I thought, let me bring this. It's late at night right now. I don't think I'm going to edit this video at all. I don't think so. It's way too late. Maybe you'll catch it in the morning and get to see what I was saying. Ciao.